What is happening, folks? Welcome back, and if it's your first time here, then just plain welcome. Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas has done something that I thought was absolutely impossible. She's made AOC look like a fucking genius. I am not kidding. Apparently, journalist Michael Schoenberg was speaking about free speech. He's testifying before Congress. I'd seen bits and pieces of it. I don't remember the exact details, and they're not really important to what we want to go here. Instead, what I want to talk about is that Crockett, during her examination of Schellenberg, had some interesting thoughts on freedoms, and on our rights. And luckily, we have it on video. So check this shit out.
About the Constitution is that it has always been a balancing test. There are limits to this. And right now, what we continue to hear from a certain side of the aisle is that there are no limits to this lawlessness. In fact, there are limits. And I can tell you that one of those limits typically is around hate crimes. You may or may not know that when it comes down to it, if somebody decides that they want to send something hateful in, say, the U.S. mail, they can actually go to prison for that, up to 5 years in prison. So yes, there are always going to be limits.
Did her parents tell her that lead-based paint chips were actually cornflakes? I've got to know. I have to know. Probably never gonna find out. Damn it. Anyways, yeah, that's absolute complete total bullshit. Now, if we're gonna try to give her the benefit of the doubt, there are a couple of cases that I think she might have gotten a little mixed up on. There was a case, and I'll have links to these stories down in the description so you can check them out for yourself. An ex-diplomat was sentenced to 5 years over some emails he sent. And there was a Georgia guy who was in prison who got 5 years over some mail he sent out, both of which were pretty incendiary. The problem is that they weren't sentenced for hate speech. They didn't get 5 years for sending hateful content through the mail. They got sentenced to 5 years for sending threats through the mail. Well, you can make the case that threatening content is hateful content. Yeah, it absolutely can be taken that way, and I get it, because I don't threaten people I like. It's just not the way that works, and nobody who likes me has seriously threatened me. But, you know, that this is a different thing. The thing is, threats have never been considered the same as hate speech in the eyes of the law. Even though we could make the case it's hateful, it's not hate speech. And there's a difference. See, hate speech is generally defined in the law, and I'm paraphrasing here, as attacking someone based on something like their race, their sex, their religion, etc. It is something that's motivated by bigotry, and it is defined speech. It is speech, right? It's no other action, no other thing. It's all perfectly legal, right? You can make the case that it's terrible and people shouldn't do it, but that's not the same as saying it's illegal. We have all kinds of shit that's perfectly legal, that's morally wrong, and we have a lot of stuff that is legally required that I happen to think is morally wrong. Yes, I'm talking about taxes. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure there's federal hate crime legislation. Department of Justice gets involved in hate crimes semi-regularly. A lot of states have hate crime laws. A lot of other states really don't. Whether they're right or not, that's a different matter. Are we punishing people for what's in their heart when they do something? I'm not really comfortable with it. But hate crimes are when you commit a crime. But hate crime is when you actually commit a crime, like assault or murder, arson, things like that. You commit a violent crime that is motivated by your bigotry, right? If you target a Hispanic woman because she's a Hispanic woman, or because she's a woman, or because she's Hispanic, that's a hate crime. Pretty straightforward. If you happen to target a Hispanic woman, it's not a hate crime. Pretty straightforward, right? But here's the thing. I'm not a lawyer. I never went to law school. I understand this. Crockett isn't just a member of Congress, she's an attorney. Yeah. In fact, she according to at least her Wikipedia entry, she claims that she was going to school to be a certified public accountant and decided to become an attorney after she was a victim of some hate crimes while attending Rhodes College and was represented by the Cochran firm. For the record, Rhodes College says they have no records of any hate crime involving Jasmine Crockett or the Cochran firm. Shocking. A politician lied. But the thing is, if she was an attorney and was motivated by hate crimes she experienced, she should kind of know the difference, right? She should understand that while you don't have to like hate speech, you can't prosecute it, right? The fact that she doesn't get this is absolutely mind-boggling. To his credit, Schellenberg does correct the record. He was being questioned by another congressman and came right out and said, no, Crockett was wrong. Threats are not protected speech, but, you're not going to go to prison because you sent somebody a slur in the mail. It's just not going to happen. Crockett, though, on the other hand, is either a complete idiot or she's lying. And with her, it could go either way. But let's keep in mind, in addition to being an attorney, she was a public defender, meaning she would be the person defending someone who is accused of sending, hateful speech through the mail if that was an actual crime. Dear Lord, how many people went to prison because she thought they had actually committed a crime and they didn't? How many people did she talk into plea deals that they shouldn't have taken because she was convinced they had done something that wasn't actually illegal? I don't know that it happened, but, she's not impressing me with intelligence here, folks. Let's be real here. There is another possibility. It goes along with the lying bit, but she could also be trying to somehow gaslight us into thinking this is actually true. If so, doing it on the floor of Congress during congressional testimony that has lots of cameras on her and that would be available for anyone to watch and, post on YouTube and make fun of her over, it would be, again, colossally stupid. And really, considering her comments on other topics, including trying to claim that the only people who are really crying about DEI are mediocre white boys who don't have to work as hard as minority women do, it kind of illustrates that she's functionally retarded. But it's absolutely mind-blowing that this happened. You don't go to prison for speech. For free speech to mean anything, you absolutely have to be able to protect speech that people don't like. When you silence people who disagree with you, that's not free speech. And yeah, bigotry of any kind is disagreement. They may disagree with your even existence. They have a right to believe that way. They shouldn't, but they have the right to be that. There is no more fundamental right that a person can have than the right to be wrong and or an asshole. That's simple, right? You just can't, if you take that away, you take away people's rights in general. And Crockett pulling this crap, saying this in front of God and everybody, illustrates a level of moronic behavior that, there's not words. There's no words to describe how stupid that statement was. And that's me being kind. Because I don't think anyone with functional brain cells would think that lying about this would somehow work. It has to be stupidity. It is the Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is usually the correct one. And the simplest explanation is she really should not be allowed out in public without a special helmet. That's it. I want to know what you think. I honestly don't see how anyone could agree with Crockett on anything that's so demonstrably false. But if that's you, go down in the comments, let me know. Otherwise, if you agree with me or you have other thoughts, something I haven't considered, go down in the comments and share those too. While you're down there, hit like, subscribe, notification bell, all that jazz. Something else to think about. What do you think we should do about the fact that we keep electing, complete idiots to Congress? Congress is supposed to be our best and brightest, and it's clearly not what we're getting. What do you think we should do about it? Put that in the comments too. Really, even if you just put comments for algorithm, I don't care. Everything's good for YouTube. They just see the engagement and help share the words, all that jazz. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will talk to you all in the next video.